Hey, Fruit Faces. I just want to talk with you guys today about the vaccine schedule. Those of you who watch many of my videos or happen to have seen the vaccination ones at least know that I am a staunch proponent of vaccine choice, and I think that everybody should be able to choose. And if you're going to make a choice, it should be an educated choice. I think there's definitely an epidemic of over trusting in doctors. I mean, first of all, they are paid off by pharmaceutical companies. You can actually go and check and see with certain websites like how much your doctor is paid, so I definitely recommend doing that. But I just think overall in general there's just too much trusting of doctors, and we have this overconfidence in our system that all of these advancements in technology, we're just like, since we've the most progressed ever, that it's just all like never failing. And every time you look back in history, it's pretty much been the thought, oh, well, this is the most technologically advanced we've ever been, so we know what we're doing. And when you look back into history, you see that no, there was so much we were missing. We didn't understand this, we didn't understand that. We thought we knew this, but that wasn't correct. And we were doing crazy barbaric things not too long ago, like decades ago. We were doing, crazy things. I mean, you look at electroshock therapy, you look at bloodletting, you look at so many different things. It's outrageous. So I tend to be of a naturalistic type of, outlook medically, and I think that like really super old, not all, like, I don't believe everything in Chinese medicine, but I definitely think like acupuncture is excellent, and there's just so much to look at rather than just this Western style of medicine. But anyway, back to shots specifically. The biggest thing I think for people to realize about the vaccine schedule, the current vaccine schedule especially, is that it hasn't been tested long term. Has not been tested. And there may be studies here and there that are paid for by the pharmaceutical industry that are saying people and not only paying for the studies, giving the grants that studies them, but also paying for them to be published and reprinted. Keep that in mind. A lot of money in reprints. Okay, these doctors, or these pharmaceutical companies are reprinting, they're ordering reprints. And so that just flaws the studies in a sense that they're going to do more studies on what is going to get published, of course, but also what is going to get reprinted, because it's all about the money. It's really the bottom line. And they do, like I said, they do fund the grants. They, the pharmaceutical companies help fund the magazines, the scholarly magazines, the peer-reviewed journals. All of it is, it's a big scheme. So, and you just have to look at the sheer size, just like the meat and dairy industry. It's the sheer size of the pharmaceutical industry is crazy. So anyway, be very skeptical and don't just take what they say on face value. Do your own research. Make sure the studies that you're looking at are independent studies, not have any conflict of interest and things like that. But like I said, you can't look at that stuff for the current vaccine schedule because there's no long-term studies on it whatsoever. So you have to admit, if you're going to get vaccines for you or your child, that you're pretty much having yourself be a guinea pig, because it hasn't been studied long-term, ever. It isn't possible. They just started doing this. And one of the things, when I told my mom this, she just didn't believe it. She thought that I had been seeing some internet meme, and, which it is a popular internet meme that says that, compares the studies. There's many different ones. There's memes where it shows, infants with all the different shots in them, and people just think that's sensationalist. They really don't know how many vaccines, even mothers who are giving vaccines to their children don't tend to even, they can't tell you how many vaccines they're taking. So it's kind of messed up in my opinion to like just assume, first of all, they're not even checking the ingredient list. I mean, as a vegan, it's not vegan. They're not vegan, but they're definitely not healthy. You would get jailed if you gave your kid what was in those shots. If you fed that to them, gave it to them, exposed it to them in any way, you'd be in trouble. Why is it okay for them? Brainwashing, basically. So anyway, this video is not about all of the details. Like, I could go on for hours about all the studies that I've done, all the research that I've done, rather. But what I want to talk with you guys today is just a little comparison that I did between the current vaccine schedule, got it from the CDC page, and my shots. We actually found, my mom pulled it out. We were looking at some files, and we pulled out the shots. I don't have it. I just had a picture of it. I might put that in here. But anyway, my mom can tell you. This is the comparison that I did, and I'll kind of walk you through it here. So in 1982, this is when I was born. My first year, I had 5 shots. Okay, in the two, and that was total. The 2017 shots, the first year, you're going to get 18 plus shots if you do the CDC schedule. So 5 to 18. So the first year, that's 3.6 times more shots, 13 extra shots for in the first year of life. When your immune system is so, not developed and just, it's crazy. And again, 18 shots in the first year has never been studied long term. It's just been steadily rising since, who knows when. So the second year, I got 6 shots. Guess how many now? 26. So an extra 20, 4.3 times as many shots that year. Actually, no. I'm talking total. So it's not 6 shots that year. It was only an additional, for me, it was only additional 1 shot my second year for a total of 6 shots. And so again, the 26 is the total number of shots that you have by then that a person can have. And even if you're not going to completely deny vaccinations, you can do a delayed schedule. You have rights. In Missouri, we have a religious right for exemption. So my children are able to go to school, public schools. All I have to do is go down to the CDC, ask them for a card of religious exemption, fill it out. It's very easy. Take it to the school instead of turning in the vaccination schedule that they took. It's very simple. Third year, I had 2 more shots, so a total of 8 shots. And then apparently they don't get any more shots. It's just still a total of 26, but then they start wanting to get the flu shots. And I think actually the flu shots are added, and normally they promote you to get those every year. So that would have been an extra shot. I just wanted to mention that each year, and I'll add them in at the end. But as of right now, it's kind of optional, and a lot of parents don't get that. So that's another reason why I didn't just add that in there. So by the 7th year, I had 10 shots total. That is less shots than nowadays people get in the whole first year. That's almost half as many shots by the time I was 7 years old that now infants nowadays get by the time they're 1. So that's crazy. By 7 years of age, by the end of the 7th year, nowadays they're going to have 32 plus shots. So again, 32 plus if you get a flu shot every year. By 17 years old, I had 13. By 18 years old, I had 14 total shots. Again, that number is still 4 less shots or less or more than an infant gets in its first year. Okay, so I never got any more shots after this. I don't even remember, honestly, getting these shots. I wonder if my mom been forged the paper because she was a nurse, and I really don't remember going and getting any of these. And the handwriting, I'm like, I don't know. So I might have even had less than this. Really, definitely by 18 years old, I was out of the house. I'm pretty sure that it was forged. I remember my mom doing that with our physicals. She would just forge the physicals because she was like, you guys are fine. You're, she would never admit this right now because she's totally she's totally pro-vaccination. But again, by the time a baby nowadays, if they're following the current vaccine schedule set up by the CDC, they will have 47 shots total, not even counting their annual flu shot. If you add in the 18 years of annual flu shots, it is 65 shots total. So somewhere between 47 and 65 shots. Who knows? They're probably going to keep on adding shots in each year. So kids that are born, next year, the year after, are probably going to have even more than this. That's 51 more shots than I supposedly even had. It's just insane, 4.64 times more shots. So again, why is this? The diseases that we're dealing with are pretty much going down. These are being eradicated. So why are we seeing an increase in shots? Why are we giving our baby shots for things like hepatitis B and, things that they're not even really going to get? More people have died in the past 10 years in America from a measles, mumps, and rubella shot than they have from the measles. So it's just one of those things. Do your research, please, 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 please. I know a baby that died 5 days after receiving his 5-month shots. Parents don't put it together. They didn't even notify VAERS as far as I am concerned. And by the way, I see a lot of people just on my Facebook and randomly complaining about vaccine not necessarily even injuries, but just reactions. Any reaction, whether it's classified as an injury, whether you would think it was an injury or not, pretty much any reaction, you're supposed to report it to VAERS. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys because, again, my mom didn't believe me, and I think a lot of people just kind of tend to see those things and kind of debunk them. Oh, well, we need them and this is good stuff, but it's not the same as what we were having. It's not studied long term is the main point. So anybody who wants to argue all these studies, whatever, those studies are not done long term. And keep in mind that the whole thing about smoking, what went on with smoking, what's going on with cell phones and everything, and even with meat, it's like it's hard to study things long term. It's easy to disprove things when you're not looking long term. It's very easy. That's how the smoking, people got away with it for so long. The smoking corporations were able to do these studies, and they said, look, there's no correlation. There's no correlation. There's no correlation. Well, you don't see a correlation with smoking and cancer until at least 15 years. Again, same thing with cell phones. No, cell phones don't cause cancer. They don't cause cancer. We're just now starting to realize that this literature is saying that, yes, they do cause cancer, but it takes 15, 20, 30 years. So long-term research is a must. Without it, you haven't proven anything. It's just the way it is. It's undeniable. It's absolutely undeniable. Bottom line for anti-vaxxers should always be no long-term studies have been done on the current vaccine schedule, period. So stay strong, fight the legislation that is backed by the lobbies, the big pharma lobbies. They've been in control of our government. Big corporations have been in control of our government for centuries, and it's got to end. We got to take the power back. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. Don't forget to eat your fruit. I will talk to you later. Love you guys. Stay healthy. Stay happy. Snuggle your little pets, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.